In 1969, General Motors was mass producing muscle cars, and the GTO is one of those muscle cars. Now my question is, when is a mass-produced car rare? Well, that usually comes down to a couple of things. One is, how was the car equipped? What options did it come from the factory with? And sometimes it's color. Was it a rare color? In the case of this car, it's both. So, in 1969, General Motors built, through Pontiac, 72,287 GTOs. That's a lot of cars, but they only built 6,833 Judges. So that's a much rarer subset. Now, within that rare subset, what makes a Judge rare amongst Judges? Well, in the case of this car, there are a couple of things, and I think one of them will really surprise you, and that's the fact that it's an automatic. Did you know that 76% of these cars were 4-speed cars? That's right, only 1,563 came with the automatic. It is the rare car. Second attribute that makes this car very rare amongst Judges, it's a black Judge, Starlight black. It's absolutely gorgeous. No one knows how many black cars they made, but very, very few. I will say this, it is stunning. No matter what angle you look at this car, it's highly reflective and very aggressive looking. I love Starlight black on a 69 Judge with the Judge graphics. Very cool. So I mentioned Ram Air. What is Ram Air? In addition to the high-performance motor, you have a hood with scoops that are actually functional. There's a pull lever inside the car that when you pull it, the little flaps open right here and air goes into that motor. Now let me start this car and we'll take a look at this special system. Come look at this motor. Here's your Ram Air system, both the hood up here and the special air breather. This motor is Concours. It's absolutely stunning. It's exactly how it came from the factory. Of course, it was never quite this show quality. Now come listen to the exhaust. This is a factory system. I love this system. You'll notice in the pictures when I had it on the lift how cool it is. It sounds great. All right, let's go on that test drive. Oh, one more thing. Come check this tack out. I love this tack. Not all Judges came with the tack. This one did. It's on the PHS documents. Let's go for that test drive. If this is your first ride in a Ram Air 3 Judge, I think you'll be impressed. Of course, this car runs and drives and rides like a brand new car because it is a brand new car. A former owner did a nut and bolt frame-off restoration, and his goal was to make it actually better than new, and I think he succeeded. Even the dash pad was sent off to Just Dashes to be reconditioned, and you get in the interior of this car, it's a strong interior. It looks like a brand new 1969 GTO Judge. You know, I had mentioned earlier that there was a Ram Air pull knob, and that Ram Air pull knob is right down here. And that's what you pull to open up the hood scoops on the front and let that cold air induction into the car. In fact, I'll pull that right now. And when we get a chance, we'll let this Ram Air open up and breathe, this Ram Air 3 motor that is, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the exhaust note and have the experience. I'll give it a little gas. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. I don't think it's going to quit pulling, so I'm going to back off. We don't have enough road for that. You know, driving a car with this kind of power is fun. That's why they sold so many of them. People loved it. They loved getting out and entertaining themselves with their automobile, and that's what a good muscle car does for you, and it's certainly what a good Ram Air 3 car does for you. Well, here in the cabin, I can certainly hear that motor come alive and can't really hear the exhaust note that good inside the car because this car is sealed up so nicely. These windows all mate and nest perfectly with the car, and just a very quiet cabin. Really, they weren't known for being quiet cars back in the late 60s. They were on their way to figuring it all out, but they were quieter than the cars before them. They eliminated the vents, which I love the vents, but they eliminated the vents to make them have less wind noise, and I'd say this car has about as little wind noise as any 69 automobile car that I've ever been in. You know, I was talking about the quality of the restoration a minute ago. Take time to look at the pictures of the undercarriage on this car, and I think you'll see what I mean, and especially focus on the engine bay. The engine bay is absolutely concours, and you saw that earlier in the video, but in the still shots I think you can get a better idea of it. Extreme effort was put into making this car a show car, and you know, it's been driven less than 200 miles at this point, so it was a trailer queen, is a trailer queen, but you can drive it. You know, back in the day, Mopar was doing so many crazy psychedelic things with their cars, and Pontiac, slightly more conservative, decided they had to make their move, and boy did they do it with the Judge. You know, the graphics are as psychedelic as they come, and they really set these cars off. And then there's the title, the Judge. Roman and Martin laugh in. If you don't know what that is, you're probably young. But if you do know what that is, that was a great show, and there was a character in there called the Judge, and it's here comes the Judge, here comes the Judge. And that's what this car was playing off of. And it really made a splash. I mean, it's just etched in the psyche of anybody that was walking the earth back in the day. Well, we're going 70 miles per hour, and then you can accelerate it at any point. She just launches from 70 miles per hour. Woo! Front end lifts up, and this car will go. She will seriously run. What a fun car. 69 GTO Judge, Ram Air 3, and automatic. The automatic is great fun. Now the 4-speed's fun. I'm a 4-speed fan, but you know, really I like 5 speeds better. They didn't make 5 speeds back in the day, and you tend to run out of gear on a 4-speed car. And automatics are typically geared taller and they're great highway cross-country cars. Well, I had fun. Who wouldn't want one of these? Come back when you can.